Josh Duro, Larry Bluestein.
Right there.
It's big this week. Auto Nation is big,
Yeah, everything.
always, since the beginning. But this week, the showdown. The national showdown with local implications. Take down your backyard, get to the top spot in the polls. We can only be talking about one game. Central, Booker T, Trask Powell, Friday night. We might have literally the entire South Florida high school sports staff there. But this game slipped through the hands from Booker T a year ago at Sun Life. Central with an incredible comeback with Dalvin Cook. How do you see this matchup? And we are literally talking about, of course, to our audience, we all know Central and Booker T.
Yes.
But these are the top rated teams nationally.
Yeah, well, I was going to say a local game with national implications, and that's the way you look at it. Is there a better game this week anywhere in the country? Probably not. Will there be a game featuring more college prospects, high-level college prospects? And any two teams, I don't care if you take two of the best in California, Don Bosco, whatever you want, they'll never even come close to scratching their surface. It's getting Sports Illustrated's attention will be there. They have all the big wigs coming in for this ball game because this is a game that separates these two schools, Josh, by 4.5 miles. The talent level between Overtown and City of Miami is crazy. The youth football leagues that feed into both of the programs has just been utterly nuts for years. And now here's the culmination. Last year's 19-3 lead by Booker T at halftime at Sun Life Stadium. Both teams had their new uniforms on. Everything was all great, and all of a sudden Booker T unraveled. For the first time in over a year, they unraveled. And they unraveled because they lost focus in the game. They got a little bit too complacent to where they were, and they didn't account for the fact that the Wildcat was in place with Joseph Yearby.
Always nice to have those kind of weapons.
But let us fast forward a year. And
what do you think?
And you have a whole different ball game. You have a Central team that obviously has talent in every direction, but more so you have a Booker T team that's matured. And from a standpoint, if you watch the Norcross game, you could see that their defense always dictates. Their offense finally took what was given to them. Instead of forcing the issue and throwing picks and getting out of what they do, they just went underneath with balls. They ran when they needed to. They didn't have to depend on Cronus Larry or didn't have to depend on Mark Walton or any of the receivers. Everybody did their part. Central kind of proved their mettle last week in a game against Heritage. I mean, obviously, Heritage never put together any drives, which is not going to be the case this week. So Central's defense will be tested. It wasn't tested last week. They had a long 55-yard run by Jawan Dowles, who's got speed, got out in the open. Then they had the 95-yard kickoff return by the human highlight film.
Number one,
yes.
Sports Center top 10.
And they had Torrance Gibson's long run. Other than that, they never put together any sustained drives. They never put Central's defense to the test. This is the week that Central's defense gets tested. Can they hold up? They're young up front. They have with the kid Couch in the at the linebacker spot. And one of their key things last week that no one really understood, that while Dalvin Cook was running for 1,000,000 yards, he was also playing almost every snap because the kid Bruton, Calvin Bruton, one of the tough juniors, probably in the country, had an injury, so he was out. Whether he plays at full strength or not, it's going to be big because remember, in the scheme of things, when Booker T gets going, they will utilize every part of the field. So it doesn't really matter. So you can't take Johnny Ballgame and put him out in right field and hope they don't hit it.
Right.
Because they will find you because they have that speed. So you have to be running on all cylinders. Same thing with Booker T. They have to keep focused, not look at results from last year or what last week was or what 2 weeks ago, where they have to go down that field and play it like it's a 0-0 game all the way. And it's going to be a great one. And if you're not there, and I know it's unfortunate, it should have been played on a Saturday night. It could have still been played at Traz on a Saturday night. You would have had 10, 12,000.
But I think I know where you can find the highlights.
Right here.
SouthFloridaHighSchoolSports.com. All right, no follow-up question needed. Larry, full canvas that game from start to finish, the Pop Warners up to the matchups inside the game. Central and Booker T.
That's what I'm here for.
Of course, Central and Booker T Friday at Trask Powell. We will all be there For Larry Bluestein, I'm Josh Darrow, the Auto Nation Gridiron Report on SouthFloridaHighSchoolSports.com.